Well, if you've ever thought about doing theory exams with your students, you might not get that love. You might get that eye rolling from your students. I know I was one of those kids, but it's time to change all that. Welcome to the Ultimate Music Teachers Live Show. I'm your host, Glory St. Germain. And today with me, of course, is my fabulous co-host, Joanne Barker. We've got a really super exciting topic today, one that every music teacher needs to hear about.
Definitely. Today we're talking all about music theory exams. We're going to dive into the why behind doing exams, the when to start preparing, and the woohoo, how to help your students score 100%. Doesn't that sound amazing?
Yes, it does.
Especially the woohoo part.
You know, exams don't have to be stressful. In fact, it can be the thrilling part of a student's musical journey. Whether your students are nervous, beginners, they've never done a theory exam before, or they're advanced learners aiming for top marks, we're going to give you the strategies that you need to set them up and set you up for success. So why do theory exams?
Well, let's start with that big question. Why do theory exams at all?
Yeah.
Some teachers wonder if it's really necessary, right?
Yeah, absolutely, Joanne. I think the answer is really simple. Exams provide structure, they provide goals, and truly they provide a sense of accomplishment. And when students work towards a theory exam, it gives them a clear milestone and really encourages them to focus on learning.
Exactly, and it's all about understanding that language of music, right? That's why we teach theory. Like theory is that's the basis of it all. So music theory is that foundation for everything a student's going to do with music for the rest of their life, whether they're playing an instrument or composing or even just listening to music. Plus passing those exams gives students an amazing confidence boost.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think when students see that pass, but let's go for more than that, even better, that first class honors with distinction, on their exam report, it's like a huge motivator. It's unlocking a new level in their musical journey.
And let's not forget exam certificates and exam accomplishments look really great on college applications or in portfolios like that. When you're applying to med school and you've listed on there, you've got your level 8 piano plus the theory that goes with it. That's just another check mark in the column of you're diligent, you can apply yourself. So this shows dedication and discipline and mastery of a really important skill.
Yep, absolutely. So we might wonder, when should you start preparing for exams? So when we move into this, the big when, we often think, I'm not ready. Oh, when should I start? And all of those questions. So when should students start preparing for theory exams, Joanne?
Well, for me, that would have been Monday because that was lesson 1.
Yeah.
Lesson 1 is when we start preparing for exams, right? It's such an important question. As far as doing an actual physical exam and, going and writing it, that really depends on the student's level and their goals. But generally, it's never too early to start building that solid theory foundation from lesson 1. I'm using prep 1 with a lot of my students this year. And, just from that first thing of where's D on the keyboard? They need to know this stuff. This is important stuff, and we take it for granted that they know it. Well, we need to provide them with that solid foundation so they can continue to build on that.
Yeah, I agree, Joanne. And, if you're teaching younger students, you can really start introducing, those basic theory concepts early on, things like note values and time signatures and key signatures. And in fact, at the end of every lesson in the Ultimate Music Theory Workbook series, they have a review test. So this really prepares them for that formal music theory exam. And there is a complete music theory exam at the end of every single workbook as you're going through the Ultimate Music Theory Workbook series. And I think the earlier they understand these building blocks, the easier it will be for them to prepare for exams later on.
And, actually, this was a topic of conversation in class last night because they opened the theory book and these students have been with me a few years. They know where to find D on the piano, but they know how to read the question and where to put the answer. I told them all we're doing right now is preparing for when you do your driver's test, to get your beginner's license or whatever they call it these days. So how it's really important to know how to read a question and where to answer to put the answer correctly. So that's the process of writing an exam
Yeah.
and understanding a question. We're giving them this wonderful gift of another opportunity, because I don't know if it's, how they do tests at school anymore. It might not be that same format, but it's, how about reading a recipe to cook? We're giving them really solid life skills, and it's just gonna make it so much easier for those older students. There's like level 5 theory, grade 5 theory, you want to give them plenty of time to review. So you want to start off early, and there's the exam review books too. You can buy the extra supplemental exams booklets. I really remember when I do it, I start usually 6 to 12 months before the exam date, really preparing. And then when I've had several students do it, we have several like drop-in nights where we actually run the exam in its whole entirety. No talking, just do it. So you want to give the older students that much more time to lead up to it, to feel confident.
Yeah, absolutely. And, as we discussed in one of our other Ultimate Music Teachers live show, we talked about, doing the drop-in classes and maybe having a 6-week camp of just focusing on exam preparation. So there's lots of ways to help our students feel super, super confident, right? And know that, can they get 100% on exams? Absolutely. So don't forget about setting that realistic timeline. It's not something you, as you said, Joanne, just want to squish it in your head, go write the exam, and then whoof, you forget everything, right? Because every student learns at a different pace. So make sure that they've got enough time to review, to practice, and to feel super, super confident, because we do want our students to keep that knowledge and implement that directly into their practical lesson and their performance, right?
Totally. And as much as every student learns at a different pace, that different pace can be accomplished in that group setting. Because again, the students are also learning that there are different learning styles out there, and some kids blat out the answers, and some kids take a little bit longer to process the answer. So I think that too is a gift that we give our students by being in a group theory class, is that they can see in a smaller group setting that there's different ways to learn. There's just so many reasons why the group class is so beneficial, particularly when we're doing the theory classes. And if you're offering those theory classes or camps, they can be excellent opportunities to prepare multiple students. The maximum I had one year was 27 students did the same exam. So we had to have a few classes, but it's a great way, instead of one and one and one and one. It's just so much, such more efficient use of your time as a teacher, and their time as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's dive into number 3, which is woohoo, how to score 100%. So is it possible? Absolutely. I've had many students achieve, 90 or 100%. And some of them, of course, got 99, and then they're mad because they didn't get 100, right? But let's talk about that. How can you help your students score 100% on their exams? And this is where the magic happens, Joanne.
Yeah, totally. My last 2 students that did their advanced rudiments, their level 8, 92 and 98%. Like, seriously, how awesome is that? And I know from hearing about other teachers, have had several students hit that 100%. So how do you do it? And first of all, it's like anything else in life. It's about consistent practice. Just like learning an instrument, learning theory requires regular, focused practice. Practice doesn't mean this. Practice means doing the theory, writing the questions, understanding how it's laid out.
Yeah, exactly, Joanne. And I think sometimes too, it's just mindset. Like, yes, you can do it, right? So here's the tip that I love. And that is that making theory fun. Even though you are really going for exam preparation, when you use games and you have challenges and you've got interactive activities, you can engage your students. And the more they enjoy the exam preparation process, the more they absorb this information and feel confident and actually look forward to doing their exams.
Exactly. One of my favorite games with my students is looking in the practice test at question 1 and playing name that tool. Not what's the answer to the question, but how do you answer this question? What tool do you use to answer this question? If it's talking about rhythm, what tool do you use to answer a question about intervals? Because from exam to exam, the questions are similar. From exam to exam, the answer's different, right? Because it's, different intervals, different scales or whatever. So, you want to use those practice exams. They're there for a reason. And the more they do them, the better they get. It gives students such a clear idea of what to expect. So they won't be surprised on exam day. The more practice they have doing those practice exams under exam conditions, the more confident they're going to feel.
Yep, absolutely. So remember, review, review, review. And as Joanne said, the Ultimate Music Theory practice exams
Mhm.
are all there for you. So whether you're doing level 5, level 6, level 7, level 8, and even if you are inside the Ultimate Music Teachers membership at teachumt.com, there are also assessment exams and answer pages there for you as well. So you can always sort of see, is your student ready to do this exam? So make sure that you go over as well. And that's why it's so important to review and do a lot of exams. It's not just like do one practice exam. Okay, now you're ready. You need to do the entire book, right? Because the more we review, the more confident we feel. So make sure to go over, any tricky areas or concepts they might struggle with. Sometimes students just need a little extra clarity on certain topics, or as you said, Joanne, what are the tools that you need, whether it's writing out the circle of fifths, whether it's writing out, the sentence for remembering the modes, whatever it is, you really need to master those to feel confident in going into an exam. And yes, you can score 100%.
Yes, definitely. And as teachers, we can give them that positive encouragement along the way. We need to celebrate their small wins. I had a student that was really struggling, and when she got over 70 the first time, it was like, look, see, you're doing this. And then she got 75, and then she got 80. And the more confident, for her, it was a total confidence thing. So when they nail that tricky concept, when they get that perfect score in a practice test, celebrate. That's when the woohoo comes in.
Yeah.
Building confidence is the key to success.
Yes, 100%. Confidence is everything. And when students believe they can succeed, they will. And it's all about creating a supportive learning environment where they feel empowered to really, to do their best, right?
Mhm.
And now that we've covered the why, the when, and the woohoo of theory exams, we want to invite you to take this next step with us.
Yeah, we do. We'd love to invite you to join us inside the Ultimate Music Teachers membership at teachumt.com. We've got everything you need to help your students succeed in their theory exams, whether you're preparing for that first exam or aiming for that perfect score, or you just want them to learn it and do the exams with you. They don't have to do the formal written exams. They can do the exams with you. That's still that sense of accomplishment.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've also gotten certificates in there for you as well. So inside the membership, you will have access to the Ultimate Music Theory Complete course. You'll be invited into our community, our Facebook group, and of course, our weekly coaching calls. You'll learn how to prepare a structured exam for your planning, for your preparation. You can teach with confidence, and you can grow your music teaching business.
And you don't have to do it all alone. We're here to support you every step of the way. So go to teachumt.com and get started today.
Absolutely. We're here to help you and your students score 100% and woohoo all the way. So you will go and grow your music teaching business for productivity and profitability. Let's make it happen, Joanne.
We hope you found today's session helpful. Whether you're just starting out with exams or you're a seasoned pro, remember, it's all about having a solid plan, staying positive, and giving your students the tools they need to succeed.
Yep, you're absolutely right, Joanne. Thank you all for joining us today. We're so excited to see you inside the Ultimate Music Teachers membership at teachumt.com. Let's continue to make music education an incredible journey for both you and your students.
Well, that wraps it up for today. Keep on teaching, keep inspiring, and keep celebrating those woohoo moments with your students.
You bet. Until next time, teach with passion and make some music magic happen. Bye for now.